Right, we're actually at the Project Alpha studios, which makes a change than when we're out and about on the road. And actually joining us tonight is Nige from the UK's number one thrash band, Onslaught.
I did, mate. Okay.
Yeah, and you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, life has been quite a journey, and this year, obviously, the 30th anniversary as well.
Well, 2013 is the actual
Yeah.
anniversary, so gearing up for that. New album next year,
Oh,
so it's going to be extremely busy, hopefully, and successful. Fingers crossed.
Obviously, it's quite a while as well since obviously the release of like the first album,
Yeah.
Power from Hell, right way up to Sounds of Violence in 2011. As a band, how have you felt and seen the progressive change from like the first album right way up through?
I don't have a lot of memories from back then. Actually, my memory is quite shot, but it's kind of a bit of a blur those days of back in the Power from Hell area, you know.
Yeah.
Vague memories of making that album. I obviously know how it came around and how we got signed in the shows we were playing, but actually making it, I can probably only remember a few little things from the studio. I mean, I remember it being really cold and horrible weather, and we were actually sleeping in the studio where we were because we had no money for accommodation or nothing. And just a few little bits and bobs, but nothing. Everything's kind of a blur about that period for me.
And obviously, the making of the album, that would have been done. Was that done the old school way with the speakers in front of the like the speaker, sorry, over the drums and in front of the actual speaker, all the mic setups?
Yeah, I don't think in terms of how we recorded things, apart from the computer technology nowadays, things we didn't do it a lot differently. We made that album.
Excuse me a moment. This show's by real life. Go.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Right. Right. Yeah, we're talking about obviously the production of the first album, to where it's all sort of like you use computers a lot more these days.
Yeah, I think we made the Power from Hell album in 4 days, I guess, start to finish. So, I mean, obviously listening to it, you can hear why it was so quick. It's not the most polished of albums, but it's got some kind of I can't think of the right word. It's got a certain something about it that captures the listener, you know. But
Yeah.
But obviously things have changed a great deal nowadays up to the Sounds of Violence album. Everything was done on computer, and you go in the studio, the big desk is still there, but it's completely redundant. It's only for show. 2 computer screens, and that's it. But I mean everything's still done live. Obviously the drums are, and it just gives you more editing power, I think. Obviously things are so much cleaner sounding and a lot more powerful, and it enables us to get a heavier sound but actually make it more audible at the same time. So I do kind of like the way it works now, because I got a little setup at home just for demoing, and you got all that power at your control. What we used to have in the old days, it cost hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
And now it costs you like 500 quid for a little setup that can make something sound better than the Power from Hell album.
And of course, all your albums as well released on vinyl, which is a good thing to see, that you're keeping the old school stuff alive as well.
No, it's nice. I mean, I'm a great lover of CDs, because I don't like downloading stuff to my MP3 player. I just like to have the physical product in the hand. You know, you can see the pictures, read the lyrics, and it's the same for albums, but in a bigger form, and that's even better. I think these gatefolds are fantastic. They've done a lovely job on those. It's just nice to have that product, I think. I know it takes up a lot of space if you're a collector, like, but
I think that's what it comes down to, is the collection piece as well. And obviously, looking at the Onslaught logo, not much has really changed if you consider from the first album up to the 2011 album. So a few little tweaks have happened, but it's still.
Yeah, I mean, if you look through the albums, you can see the slight changes. But I mean, it's the band's identity, you know. We try to keep it recognisable on the albums, so that people notice it on a new album, blah blah. slightly change it, different colour, but they still know it's an Onslaught album at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
a few of the bands, they keep changing their logos all the time. And you think some of it's readable, some of it's not. And why? Just keep it identifiable. I think that's my theory.
Yeah. Well, of course, in 1991, Onslaught obviously stopped because of London Records not renewing the record contract. Then.
Yeah.
2004 saw you guys actually returning to the scene. Between that period, were you working on any side projects, or how did you keep yourself in?
Well, after Onslaught split in '91, did a couple of other bands after that. Nothing of any great note that really got anywhere. We did a kind of a really kind of experimental band after. It was called Frankenstein, which was I don't know. It was a mishmash of styles, and we went out. We did a full UK tour with Saxon, and it went actually great. But
Yeah.
I think the music kind of went over people's heads. It was a bit too mixed up, I think.
Right.
That was, hence the name Frankenstein. It was
Yeah.
bits of this, bits of that, and I don't think people really got it. But after that, done another band called the Power Junkies, which was with Tony O'Hora, who was Onslaught's last singer, who actually never released anything with him, and current Onslaught bassist Jeff Williams. So, and that was a kind of cool thing. It was like a Sex Pistols meets Metallica, real punky, but heavy metal at the same time.
Yeah.
And that had a real good attitude to it, and we got some serious interest from all over the world with that. We sort of we were talking with Sanctuary Music Management and stuff, and things were rolling along nicely. And then all of a sudden, we seemed to hit a brick wall,
Yeah.
and nothing happened. And that was kind of final straw for me, like, because we were so close to getting somewhere.
Yeah.
All these promises, blah blah blah, and it never happened. So it's fuck it, I've had enough now. No more. That was a couple of blows in the 3-year period. And
Yeah.
I'd had it with music then. So off I went, put the guitar under the bed, and that's where it stayed till 2004 to 2005.
Yeah. Excellent. So when Onslaught returned, were the original how was the perception of obviously Onslaught returning greeted by all the original fans that have been there with you since day one?
I mean, that was the reason. I guess we kind of got back together, and because of things like that. I mean, we didn't even know that they'd been re-released.
Yeah.
I think they came out in 2002. The Force, I think Power from Hell as well. Not aware of it in the slightest, and then it sort of came to light, and everybody started checking up on the internet, and it seemed everybody was talking about, or not everybody, but a lot of people again were talking about Onslaught.
Yeah.
So it seemed like the time was right to come back and put right a few of the wrongs that happened in the past,
Yeah.
which is what we've tried to do.
Excellent. So when you're up on stage and you're performing, obviously you've got the generation of fans which have been in there since day one. Then you've got their kids, and possibly now their kids as well.
Yeah.
And yet all three generations are singing the lyrics from the 1985 album. How does that make you feel?
Amazing. I mean, it's incredible. We after show, you get a guy come up and say, "Oh, meet my son. He's like 9 years old. He loves Onslaught. He's got T-shirts, albums. Can you sign them?" And then we have actually had 3 generations. We've had the granddad,
Yeah.
the son, and the son, and it's like, wow, it's amazing. But the thing is, we're especially with the new album, it's obviously brought a new lot of fans in. So
Yeah.
so we're seeing a lot of younger kids at the shows as well as the older hardcore fans, which is nice because I think obviously the older fans now tend to, well, some of them don't, but they tend to be a little bit more grown up now. And you see a few of them in the pit, and they come out after thinking, I wish I didn't do that. But obviously it's the younger kids now giving it some down the front and stuff, which is nice.
Excellent. And of course, in September, you guys are actually playing at Bogies in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Which is it the 21st, if I remember? I think it's...
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the 21st.
Thursday night.
You have obviously a great band, Bullriff Stampede,
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
supporting you. What can the Cardiff fans expect from Onslaught on this show?
I think we're playing the old school 4-set, which is going to be the first time in the UK we've actually played the album in its entirety ever, I think. So we're going to be mixing it up with a few of the new songs and the stuff from Power from Hell as well. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to play a section at the beginning of mixed up stuff, then go into the whole album all the way through and then tag on stuff like Power from Hell at the end. So I think it's going to be pretty mental, I hope.
Absolutely brilliant. Obviously 2013 marks the 30th anniversary. You mentioned a new album coming out.
Yep.
Is that going to be followed by a full-on UK tour? Are we expecting to see you guys perform at hopefully festivals and stuff next year as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a good selling point for the band next year, and a good promotional angle. It's the 30th anniversary. We got the new album, so we're planning on a May release. So we're looking at all the festivals, if possible, and obviously a lot of touring. I mean, we've been doing a lot of touring on the back of this one, and it's gone really well. All the tours have been reasonably successful, or very successful.
Yeah.
No real disasters. So we're seeing things going on an upward curve. So hopefully the next album will take it up again, and we'll be getting lots of even better shows again next year. So
Excellent. Was it of all the, obviously approaching 30 years, you've done quite a large number of tours. Is there anywhere particular that you really want to get back to?
always want to get back to South America.
Yeah.
It's paradise for me. I just love it over there. The people are great, the food is fantastic, and obviously the climate there, and the fans are absolutely crazy. But then again, there's so many places I love in the world. I love going to Germany and the US.
Yeah.
And we just done a US tour back in April, and that was out of this world. Better than I ever imagined it would be. And believe it or not, it was the first time we've actually ever toured there, which was kind of weird, yeah, after all this time. So that was nice, and Japan's fantastic. There's just so many nice places, but if you had to single one out, I'd say South America's the place for me.
It's interesting you mentioned America, because a lot of the younger bands these days seem to be making a massive impact in the States as well. So where it used to be years ago, the American bands would be impacting over here, and hardly any of the UK bands would make an impact over it. It seems to be like an auto reverse these days.
Got to be very careful with that. I mean, it's a vast country to tour, and there's some dodgy people over there. I've heard a few horror stories, but we came out of it pretty good. We unscathed, and it was nice. So hopefully we go back there, bigger, better things next time. And it'd be nice to do it with another European band. I think it'd be nice to go over there with a German band or another British band, and make a kind of package that way. It gives it another interesting angle. So.
Excellent. Well, I'd like to actually thank you for coming into our studio this evening. Looking forward to the brand new album obviously coming out next year, and actually seeing Onslaught back on the road in the UK again.
Thanks,
So
thank you very much.
brilliant.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.